now before we start the program here? Okay. Well, thank you all, and I want to say how enjoyable and meaningful Carol's speech was today. It was amazing. So thank you, Carol. You summarized the Northwest Social Club activities and so forth very well. Okay, here we go.
All right, give us a clue.
There was a very popular.
Wait, you gotta tell everybody.
There was a very popular TV show in the 50s and 60s. Does anyone remember?
Get your
called
things
This
and
Is
go
Your
up.
Life?
She forgot.
Okay,
Go.
well, Carol German, please come up. And have a seat in this beautiful chair.
Well, if I can get up there. This is,
Carol, look at the screen.
I'm too short.
Look at the screen.
Oh, look at that. Did Garth do that? Yes.
So, and that shows celebrities and well-deserving people who are reminded of their past. Today, we
Go-
are
go
going to
round
reboot
it, go
that
round.
show. So, Carol German, this is your life. Carol wears many hats in her. Pardon?
Everybody has to go up.
Bring the board up. Bring the board up.
Okay, board members, would you please come up?
On the other side. Other side over there.
Other side, okay.
Marilyn, don't be on the screen. You're in the screen.
Good. We did rehearsals, but not in this venue here. Carol was born in 1945 in Houston, Texas. However, they lived in Ohio at the time, and her parents were on their vacation. Can you believe that? Okay.
My dad was stationed in Ellisfield. He had just come back from Europe.
Good. She's here to correct it.
Garth gave us wrong information.
Garth wasn't there. Garth is my son.
Garth wasn't born yet. However, you know what? Carol's life really started kind of in the very beginning because in the 1700s, her great-great-great-great-great-grandfather moved to the far west. The far west was the Ohio Territory. So, but going back to 1945. But I do have a book called The Pioneers, and this is entirely about Ohio. So Carol, this is for you. So back to Carol's life, back to the new times instead of 200 years ago.
I'm old, but not that old.
After she was the eldest, then she had the two sisters born, Linda and Molly. The family enjoyed a very happy life growing up in Bay Village, a suburb of Cleveland.
Okay, at her father's urging, Carol attended and graduated from The Ohio State University. After graduating, Carol met and fell in love with Ram Derman when he was working in Columbus, Ohio as a summer intern before going to get his PhD program at Northwestern University. Ram went to Northwestern, but he missed Carol, so he went back to Columbus and enrolled in a master's degree program at The Ohio State University. Carol and Ram were soon married in Ohio and started their family when they adopted 2 dogs, Thor and Jackson. Eric, the first of their 2 sons, was born in 1970 in Columbus. Carol worked teaching English and sometimes as a lifeguard at this time. Rand finished his master's and was accepted to a PhD program at UC Davis, so the family moved to Livermore, California. And in 1974, their second child, Garth, was born. Carol raised the boys and worked as a lifeguard. The family then moved to Avon, Connecticut, as Rand got a job there. Thor made the move, but Jackson was happier staying with friends on a ranch. So the family adopted a new dog, Sarah.
As you notice, I got a golf hat on, but my speech has nothing to do with golf. So, after a couple of years, Rand got his first professorship at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, RPI. So the family moved to Latham, New York. So now they're transversing here, all over the place. During these years, Carol and Rand got to start traveling more. An early trip to England really cemented Carol's love for travel, followed by many trips around the world over the years. I'd like to be there. After a few years, Carol went back to school to get a master's degree at RPI. Carol then got a job in the dean's office at RPI. She worked with the missions and was an advisor to the fraternities and sororities on campus. In this position, Carol had to deal with all of the members' shenanigans. But there's none in this club, right? After being called to help in the middle of the night, to help with all these shenanigans, she was also an advisor to the men's hockey team. That's what I want to do. During the RPI years, Rand did his first sabbatical outside of Stuttgart, Germany. Carol and the boys came to visit and got to tour some of Bavaria together. Other trips included Hawaii, Disney World, and visits to Rand's parents in California. As the kids, Eric and Garth, got older and more independent, Carol was able to travel more with Rand when he went all around the world for work and conferences.
As you can see, I'm the travel hat, like she wasn't moving around enough already. In 1990, Rand took a new job at Penn State University. Carol decided to not make Garth move for his senior year of high school, so while Rand went back and forth to State College, Pennsylvania, Carol stayed with Garth in Latham, New York, so he could finish high school. I hope he appreciated that. With both boys off to college, Eric to Syracuse University and Garth to Cornell, Carol packed up the house yet again and moved to State College, Pennsylvania. Carol took a job in the Penn State Dean's office. As part of her job, Carol was the faculty advisor for the university's concert committee. She put on shows for some of the largest acts around, from Billy Joel and the Red Hot Chili Peppers to Ice-T and George Carlin. One day, Carol even got a call from Paul McCartney's office as the former Beatle wanted to play a concert at Penn State football stadium. Carol had asked legendary coach Joe Paterno, who said no. Carol then had to say no to a Beatle. Soon both sons were married, and Carol was mother of the grooms when Eric married Laura and Garth married Ariana.
I'm doing family. I love Carol's sons. I'd adopt them in a minute. But I especially love her grandson, Jackson. But even more, I love Bucky. That's the dog hat. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Rand took a couple sabbaticals that allowed Carol to travel along, one in Singapore and one at UCSD. This is when Carol and Rand fell in love with the idea of moving to San Diego. Soon after, they bought a condo as a vacation home at Del Mar. About that time, Rand took a new job at Mississippi State University. So Rand and Carol packed up and moved to Starkville, Mississippi. Carol didn't work at this point, because there's no jobs for women in Mississippi. Instead, helping to play hostess to gatherings in their Starkville home. Carol would go visit her boys' families often and sometimes travel with them to Hawaii, Orlando, and more. As their family grew, their pet dogs were always an integral part of their family. Carol and Rand also had adopted a new set of dogs, Jessie and Sarah. Much later, their current four-legged family member, Bucky, joined their family. I have an aside about Bucky. Bucky is absolutely the most wonderful dog. And he is engaged to Ellie, my French bulldog. So it's off the market. Much later, the family again grew when Eric and Laura's daughter Angela was born. About a year later, Garth and Ariana's son Jackson was born, followed by his sister Savannah, all making Carol and Rand's favorite role as grandparents. Carol would often drive back and forth between Starkville and Del Mar, shuttling the dogs with her.
I'm also doing family as family continues on, and so I've got little Bucky up here in case for those of you who haven't met Bucky. He's adorable. Soon they decided they wanted to retire in Del Mar. So there's my Del Mar hat. And Rand took a job at San Diego State University to help with the move and still have a home for his research. That's around the time that Carol discovered the Newcomers Club, and the rest is friendship history. It brought her here as our president at the North Coast Social Club. In a blink, the children grew, and pets Jessie and Sarah passed on. New dog Bucky became an important part of the family. This year, Angela graduated from Chapman University. Jackson is studying at UC San Diego, which allows for many great times with Grandma and Grandpa. Savannah is off to Cal State Northridge in the fall. Carol is such a proud grandma of all three of them. 2025 was a banner year for Carol. As we know, she turned 80. Her whole family, her sons Eric and Garth and their families celebrated her turning 80 with a wonderful first-class trip to Disneyland. Carol told me about this trip in detail, and I think it was one of the highlights of your life. Yes?
It was really a lot.
Yeah. Her son Garth apparently had gotten VIP tickets and treatment for all of them, so they were treated as VIPs and royalty at Disneyland for several days. So
That was Eric that did that.
oh, it was Eric. Sorry. Oh, he would be
Gotta give
happy
credit
to
where credit is due.
Yes. So anyway, so happy to get that here for you.
Oops.
From the day that Carol joined Newcomers through the transition into the North Coast Social Club, Carol has been a super member, participating in all activities. She has joined you in games of poker, mahjong, canasta, Shanghai, game night, and samba. She has enjoyed your company at many luncheons, dining in dinners, in the kitchen, breakfast club, happy hour, moviegoers, cinema socializing, community service activities, and all our other events. Her competitive spirit has shown through weekly on the golf course. Her voracious love of reading has had her share her insights in our book clubs, and she has loved attending any kind of theater performances. What some members may not know is that this year, Carol is serving her second round of being president. She also served as our newcomer president in years 2016 and 2017. So it is with much gratitude that we say thank you to Carol as she ends up her term as president.
Okay,
Now, what is in Carol's future? We know her family, including four-legged members, will always be central in her life. We thank her son Garth, who supplied us with so many facts of her past and the talented cartoons that accompanied his presentation. We are sure that Carol will continue all of her activities in the club. And building on the friendships that she has made. She and Rand will continue enjoying their Del Mar retirement home, which they have so generously given out to the club for so many activities. Sometimes 2 or 3 activities a week, I think, which is a lot. Okay, they continue to see the world 1 inch at a time. Currently, Carol has trips planned to the Columbia River Gorge, which is why I am wearing my river hat today, Norway, and around the Japanese island. So, good luck in all your future endeavors.
I have to turn the page here.
So, isn't it amazing how fortunate we are to have Carol as our friend, our leader, and we will enjoy having her in the activities for the many years to come. So, Carol German, this is your life.
No, Carol.
So, some of you remember that theme song from the show called Golden Girls? That song? The song is Thank You for Being a Friend. Thank you, Melinda, for leading all the Golden Girls and singing.
Oh, okay, everybody. We are going to learn the song. I'm going to sing it through once, and then we're going to do it line by line and then all together. You ready? Okay, this is how it goes. Thank you for being our prez. You traveled that road and back again. Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from us, and the card attached would say, thank you for being our prez. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to sing along a line, and then you're going to sing it. You're going to repeat it. So, thank you for being our prez.
Thank you for being our prez.
You traveled down that road and back again.
You traveled down that road and back again.
Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant.
Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant.
And if we threw a party,
And if we threw a party,
invited everyone you knew,
invited everyone you knew,
you would see the biggest gift would be from us.
you would see the biggest gift would be from us.
And the card attached would say, thank you for being our prez.
And the card attached would say, thank you for being our prez.
Good. Okay. All right, let's try and do it all together. You ready? Thank you
For being our prez. You traveled down that road and back again. Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant. And if we threw a party, invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from us. And the card attached would say, thank you for being our prez.
Thank you, Melinda, that was fantastic. We tried to get music to go along with it, but it was much better to do it a cappella. Thank you. So a few other thank you notes. Joanne, thank you for doing all this tech stuff. I know nothing about it, and maybe. And there's only a few other people, I think, in this club that know what you know, so that's amazing. Melanie, what can I say? You wrote this entire script, and we loved it. We added a couple little things, but my gosh, that was fantastic. Susan Mulhau wrote the words to the song. You know, twisted them around from the Golden Girls. Thank you, Susan. See where I am here. And Marilyn Colgan also was on the committee for this. Here's how the committee started, real quick. I had a meeting in March at my house, and I told the people, they were these close people to Carol. I said, my goal is to make a committee and have someone be in charge of it, not me. And Melanie spoke up. Melanie was right there and spoke up. How fantastic. So that would be Vivian Moskowitz, and Marilyn Colgan, and Marilyn Colgan, thank you very much. And Walton also came to the meeting. That was great. And this, what can I say about this board? Thank you very much. When they heard that they had to make a hat, they said, what? But they all came up. It was great. Thank you. Carol, in appreciation, Carol, of all the fine work you've done this year, being our president, and will continue on being so important in our club. Our club has a gift for you.
Now, can you get down? Whoops. If I can. Thank you so much. Want me to open it? Yes. Okay, that's fine. Okay.
So it won't be a surprise to her because, of course, we called the presidents and asked them what they would like for their gift. Because, you know, it's kind of important.
This is
He's
something.
opening the gift. I'd like you to tell you about my encounter with Carol. You saw on the left side of the map a little town in Northern California called Livermore. They didn't talk about Livermore. Carol taught at the high school in Livermore. I taught at the junior high in Livermore. And then we somehow made it down to Southern California. And we both lived down here, and I reconnected with her when, I'm sorry, I have MS and I have memory loss, and I can't remember the rest of what I was going to say. But it has something to do with Carol being this fantastic friend of mine. We joined newcomers the same year, and she's been there for me all these years. Thank you, Carol.
Thank you all. It is a smart hummingbird feeder. Those of you who know where I live in a condo, and while it has 3 floors and it's got a lovely view of the ocean, it doesn't have much of a view of the areas where the birds come. So I need things that take pictures or videos so that I can watch them too. Because one of the facts for me for aging is I've become something of a bird nerd. Which I certainly was not. As an undergrad, I had to take my final semester, or final quarter in college at the Ohio State University. I had to take either ornithology or entomology. It was the one thing in this comprehensive biological science thing that I had not touched. I chose entomology, even though I am freaked out by everything that is either a true bug or an insect. And I did horribly in it because I didn't even want to go to the labs. But I didn't want to take ornithology because you had to get up at 4 o'clock and go bird watching on Saturdays. Well, those of you who know I don't like to get up, and I'm a late night person, and it was my last quarter in college. Did I want to ruin my weekends bird watching? No. So I did not. But thank you. This is something that I spend a lot of time doing now, is watching bird videos. I love it. So now is it my turn to say things to all of you? Thank you. You know, this club, the backbone or the little piece of it, besides the communication team, which holds it totally together, is the board. And one of the things that I've always learned about having, working with a team is if you get good people in place, you don't have to do anything. You can just step back and then you get credit for all the stuff all these other people do. So I have gifts for each of these folks, and I am gonna have to look in them because there's a card in every one and it's for each person, so I have to know which gift is which. But in order here, we've got Jerry Saunders, who is our webmaster. She took over from Joanne this year, and she's the person who has to know everything about everything. Her job with the web is a little bit like my job was at Penn State and at RPI. My job was, if something went wrong, I had to step in and fix it, otherwise my staff couldn't do it. But when the standard operating procedures don't work, Jerry has to get in there and do it. So she knows so much about this website. So thank you, Jerry. And when we find the one that has her card in it, no, that one is not it. Yeah, we'll just hand them out as I have them. Okay, we'll get them in there. Next is Jane, and I do see Jane's here. Jane has been our treasurer nearly as long as I've been on the board. Off and on, because when I was president the last time, you were not the treasurer. But she has been at 15 years, so she's, and because of that, the reason I can find her present very quickly, yours is a little different because I thought you deserved a little something else. So this one says best gift ever, and of this group it is. Jerry's says it was either this or the socks. So next person down is Patty, and Patty is going to be taking over the main duties as treasurer. She's got big shoes to fill, but knowing everything Patty has done for this club, it's going to be a piece of cake for you. So she'll be fine, and wherever it's coming. Next is Sue. I can't thank Sue enough because I was wondering what we were going to do about membership, and Sue said to me, if you really want me to, I'll do it for you this 1 year, just 1 year. Now I understand she's going to do it 2 years. I did offer her quite a lot of, and Rand offered her quite a lot of red wine through the year. So Sue has taken on the role of membership, and she introduced something which, for me, really helped me get to know some of the new people. We had happy hours for the new members, and at Sue's house. When you just order a little bit of food and sit out on the porch watching the ocean, you get to know people a little bit differently. So thank you. Ruth, I don't know what to say about Ruth. She's kept me in line for the last year. As you all know, Ruth writes on Monday blasts. And it tells us when we can sign up for things. So she kind of keeps us in line. And if I don't, if it's my turn to write something, I get a little note from her saying, are you going to write anything this week? Because it's time. So Ruth, thank you. You've done, I don't know what we do. I look up every Monday morning looking for what you do. She's also the chair of the communication team, so she hosts the meetings to get all of them together. Cindy and Susan Oliver, who's not here today, the two of them really did some yeoman's work this year, even though Cindy was in great pain and then having knee surgery, needing knee surgery, then having knee surgery, and probably at first not glad she did. She still helped us make 2 sets of changes to the rules this year, as our parliamentarian. She kept us honest about the way we were doing it, and she helped us craft, or she and Susan, or maybe Cindy, I'm not sure who all did it, but they crafted the wording to be sure we were saying what we really thought we were saying and meant to say. So thank you. And last but not least is Candy Sharda, who was taking minutes today. She and Janine, who is not here today, are our super secretaries. And because of them, we have some sort of record of meetings that we have, and they keep us together with that. So thank you, Candy. And that is it. Marilyn? That is the end for me, and I get to turn this over. Some of these, you know, I like things to be less, a little bit irreverent. So I found these bags, which I thought for these kinds of gifts. Some of them say it was either this or the socks. Some say lower your expectations. And the others say, I bought this on the way here. Thank you. And Marilyn says, where is it? Oh, Marilyn says, best gift ever, just kidding, you got what they got. So, and I want to thank Marilyn for agreeing to take this job over and do this job. I know she's going to be great. Anybody that can spend years taking care of sick animals can take care of us.
Okay, I'd like to introduce the new board. We have several members now that aren't here today for various reasons. So, thanks, Carol. Some of the members are staying on to finish their term and so forth. And so, when I call out your name, just stand where you are. You don't need to come up here. Okay, after standing up here for 20 minutes. First of all, our president for next year, for 26-27, will be Mary Beth Garber. You probably saw it in the blast for the last couple months. She is working in Riverside today. She commits in every 6 months. She has to make her schedule for the next 6 months. And so she will not be able, couldn't be here today. And so, but she'll know the dates for next year and she can rearrange that. She does a special job up there, and sometimes when you talk to her, ask her about what she does. It's pretty fascinating. Ask her also about what she does on her real job, so to speak, and that's another fascinating thing. So she will be our vice president. And Ruth Mack, if you can stand up and stay there for just a second. She'll be communications chair. And Jerry Saunders. Stand up, Jerry, one more time. Judy Coors could not make it today, but she will be our secretary. Bobby Henry just had to leave now, and she will be the assistant secretary. And Patty Faulkner will be our treasurer. Patty. And of course, Jane Marks will be her assistant treasurer. Mary Siegel will be our parliamentarian, and I'm sure that Cindy will help you out as much as you need any help. Hopefully we won't have any major rule changes and we won't have to go through a lot of that. But you know what? If it comes along, we'll do it, right? And the assistant parliamentarian is Susan Oliver, and she could not make it today. But thank you, ladies, for taking on the job again. And are there any comments that anyone would like to make before we kind of go on our way today? It's a lovely, lovely afternoon. Have a wonderful summer, a wonderful rest of a few days of May, June, July. In August, we'll put our heads together and kind of talk about what we might have done for the summer. So Looking forward to seeing everybody in August, first Wednesday in August. How many have never been to a general meeting?
Raise your hands.
A general meeting, okay.
She's new.
I would like to, Cindy, can you just come, Cindy, where's Cindy?
Right here.
Can you just say how she could be?
Oh, Jan. So I got total knee replacement surgery the end of February, and I was at a skilled nursing facility recovering. And who did I meet? I met Jan, who was there taking care of her husband, who was in the skilled nursing facility. We got chatting, and she taught me some card games. I taught her one, and she just joined our club.
Isn't that amazing? So that goes to show people that you meet that might be a really fit for a club, keep that in mind, because that's such a wonderful story. Anybody else? Okay, enjoy your conversations a little bit longer. They won't kick us out for another 20 minutes, so have fun.